Yes. You're welcome to our book reading challenge, day 19. And we are on How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Yes, if you're just joining us, well, you're welcome to our online book reading club. Yay! We are happy to see you. We're happy to have you amongst us. Thank you so much for joining in. What you need to have, okay, to be part of this book club is your book. Just your book. You can have a highlighter, you can have a pen, you can have your reading glasses. Okay, just make sure it's you and your book. Okay, those are the primary items we need in the book club, you and your book. Okay, so yeah, welcome to a book reading challenge, and it's day 19. Yes, 19 days. Yes, you heard it. 19 days streak. We've had a 19-day streak on book reading. Impressive. I'm super proud of us. Super proud of us. And I just want to say congratulations to you. Those of us who started this year with yes, as you know, as a resolution, like I'm going to read a book. I'm going to read 5 books. I'm going to read 10 books in the year 2025. Well, we are on track. We're moving. Okay, so we've learned a lot from this book, and like I always say, if you are interested in trying to educate yourself, enlighten yourself, try to get to know more about handling humans, handling people, influencing people positively, trying to win their hearts, and all those things, then you'd need to purchase this book, or you need to purchase any book by Dale Carnegie, as he writes book on human relations, human relationships and all. Okay, so purchase a book and let's read together. Yes. So our slogan is a chapter a day keeps ignorance away. Yes, so simple. I like turning it into a rhyme. A chapter a day keeps ignorance away. A chapter a day keeps ignorance away. A chapter a day keeps ignorance away. Sometimes whenever I do this, I feel like I could be a good, kindergarten teacher. But anyways, let's get serious, all right? So just to do, just to give you a brief, summary of what we've discussed, you know, what we discussed yesterday, what we learned yesterday on Principle 9. Yeah, we're still on the chapter 3 of this book, okay? This book is divided into about, let's say, 4 chapters. I think it's about 4 chapters. Okay, so yeah, so 4 chapters with various principles. Okay, so the chapter we are on is part 3. I mean 4 parts. Pardon me. The book is divided into 4 parts. Okay, and they have different principles relating to each part. Okay, so for part 3, the title of part 3 is how to win people to your own way of thinking. Okay, yeah, and we are on principle 9. Principle 9. And yesterday we learned about, being sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. You have to be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Okay? Yes, it's super important. So if you'd like, to be able to, you know, bring people to your own way of thinking, you have to be sympathetic to them first. Be sympathetic to their ideas. Okay, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's something you do not understand, try to express sympathy at the beginning. Okay, let your first impression be that of sympathy first. Okay, not of complaint, not of condemnation, not of criticism. Okay, not of interrogation. Okay, let it be that of sympathy. Show that, okay, I've got some sort of, pity towards what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're trying to sell me. Yeah. So that's what the principle is about. That's what the principle is about. So here's a part that I highlighted. Okay, I Don't blame you one iota for feeling as you do. If I were you, I would undoubtedly feel just as you do. Okay, so that's a phrase. That's like a phrase that you can use when someone comes to you to maybe give you a random information, or they're trying to explain to you what happened in their day. So first of all, you don't just go straight to condemning someone like, oh, why did you have to do that? You must be, you're not a fool, you're not young, you're not immature, why do you have to do that? You don't have to go straight to that. Okay, make sure that first of all you start with a sympathetic phrase, just like what I read out. I don't blame you one iota for feeling as you do. That sentence enough, yeah, it's enough for that person to be able to feel at ease, to be able to feel like, okay, someone is finally listening to me, you know. Yeah, so feel sorry. Yeah, yeah, so you have to show some sort of sorriness, yeah. So here's another place that I highlighted by Dr. Otter Gates. He says in his book Educational Psychology, he says sympathy the human species universally craves. The child eagerly displays his injury or even inflicts a cut or bruise in order to reap abundant sympathy. For the same purpose, adults show their bruises, relate their accidents, illness, especially details of surgical operations. Self pity for misfortunes, real or imaginary, is in some measure practically a universal practice. Interesting. Okay. So let's get to it. We're on principle 10 today. So I'm gonna go off mic for some time, and when I'm done, I'm gonna share my views and what I've learned. Okay, I'm sure you have your book as well with you. Please do this with me. Let's study a chapter together. You should learn something new today. Even if you have, you can learn another thing new today. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go off mic and I'll talk to you soon. Well, hello, I'm back. Okay, so principle 9, principle 9, I mean, principle 10. Yes, principle 10 on part 3 of how to win friends and influence people. It was very interesting, very, very. I enjoyed what I learned, what I studied here, and it was very enlightening as well. So, if you'd like to win, people to your own way of thinking, Principle 10 tells us to appeal to the nobler motives. Nobler, that's Nobler. Nobler motives. Okay? Yeah, so there's an illustration here by Dale Carnegie, um, about someone who an illustration about someone who a tenant who was trying to vacate his landlord's house. He was trying to vacate the house before his lease was over. Okay, so the landlord was kind of um, puzzled, like, why is he giving a notice of leaving, the notice to leave. And he wants to leave even before his lease would be expired and all those things. So he was, you know somewhat annoyed though, because your lease is not done yet. You've not completed it yet, and you want to move, which is not part of the agreement. You agreed to this, so why are you changing your mind all of a sudden? So instead of him, flaring up and or getting mad and just trying to remind him, oh, you if you do this, if you leave before your lease is over, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna demand this, I'm gonna demand that. He wanted to do it. He felt like saying all this to the tenants, but he decided to you know take a more nobler approach, more appeal to the noble senses of the person. So he replied to the tenant's notice by writing a letter. You know, by writing a letter, he said, "I have listened to your story. I still don't believe you intend to move. Years in the renting business have taught me something about human nature, and I sized you up in the first place as being a man of your word. In fact, I'm so sure of it that I'm willing to take a gamble. Now, here's my proposition. Lay your decision on the table for a few days and think it over. If you come back to me between now and the first of the month, when your rent is due, and tell me you still intend to move, I give you my word I will accept your decision is final. I will privilege you to move and admit to myself I've been wrong in my judgment. But I still believe you're a man of your word and will live up to your contract. For after all, we are either men or monkeys, and the choice usually lies with ourselves." So that's what the landlord sent to the tenants. So he appealed to the tenants' nobler motives, like he tried to appeal to that noble side of the tenant, like, oh, I sized you up, and the first time I saw you, I actually thought that, okay, this tenant was going to be a different one. This tenant was going to not give me trouble, was not going to give me any trouble, unlike the other tenants. I thought you'd be the kind of tenant that, okay, will stay and keep to your word, you know but you doing this right now is beginning I'm beginning to feel like you're not a man of your word, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of doubt. You just think it over, okay? But if you still decide to move, it's fine. But that just proves my point that I was wrong in giving you that judgment. All those things like that. So he appealed. It was like an appeal, to the tenant's nobler motives. And guess what? When the next month came around for the tenant to pay his rent, the tenant came to pay in full, and he said, okay, we're not moving in the time being, we're going to stay. He and his wife has decided to stay. I decided to stay. So everything was settled, everything was done. and they even decided that that was more honorable, like making that decision was more honorable than them just leaving when their lease was still 4 months, running. So yeah, so that's what Dale Carnegie tries to explain to us in the principle 10. Appeal to the person's nobler motives. Okay, yeah. So um, like I said, if you want to gain more insights, you can purchase the book. Okay, I'm not promoting the book. I'm just telling you what, I'm just trying to encourage you to get it because of how it has impacted me so much. Okay, yeah. This live video is not sponsored or it's not promoted. It's not on paid promotion like YouTube would say. Okay, so yeah, that was a good one. It was an amazing time reading a book with you today once again. God bless you. I hope everything is going well with you and your family and work and school. May God continue to help you and be with you, even to those who will watch this video later on. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow once again for another interesting chapter. Yes, yes, yes. Till then, take care and never forget your mind is for me, Dave. Bye.